And technical difficulties? I don't know. Not sure. About to go back and look. Oh, Spoon. But we're here, though, now.
Yeah, the year 2020. Crazy things. That's all we can say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I don't look, and I'm going to the page, right? I'm like, let me go look at the page real quick. Let me go look at the page. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's happening. And no, look, there it is. It says it's there. Let me just go ahead. I don't know. There's 5 people over there. Man, for the 5 people that are over there, I am so sorry. I'm not really sure what happened. We came on, and then all of a sudden it said, "Hey, deuce, it has ended." For those that are still over there, yeah, let me look. Oh, I don't know. Somebody jump over there and let them know we're not there no more. Let them jump over there and see we're not. Yeah, Rush Channel. Yeah, we are back, man. I don't know. I mean, we launched in, we led in, and everything happened. And my boy Sue Rogers is in the building. What's going on? And I don't know, man. It hit us, and then it said, "Nah, fam, you can't do that." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, bet." I don't know what happened. Maybe Big Crit didn't like me leading in with his track. Maybe he had the powers that be. I mean, it's what it's man. No, his phone was not spazzing. It's on our end. I'll tell you what, though. Mendoza, if you're on Twitter, man, shoot this over here to Twitter because, man, everything I shared on Twitter had everything built up. Man, folks is not going to see it now because we had to jump back on this thing. Let me go ahead and real quick, very quickly, jump back in and get these shares out real quick. Spoony, what's good? Obviously last week, you was dealing with a little bit of the old sinus infection, the whole nine.
It was the what you call it, the root canal, 2 of them, not one.
Yeah. Boy, you had the root canal earlier this week, bro. You've been going through it, man.
Oh, listen, man. It's the wintertime, man. I don't like the wintertime. If I had all the money in the world, I would leave New York City during the wintertime. I swear, I would do it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean,
some reason it's the wintertime. There's always something during the winter times.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's literally them snowbird action. That's what they come down here and do. It is what it is. Man, just bear with us for a minute, man. We had a little hiccup there. I'm just getting these shares out real quick so we get it built up. We're gonna talk about these Minnesota Vikings. They got a little bit of kryptonite. We're gonna test some. Yeah, skull and all that, right? This defense has been playing pretty good for about 2, almost 3 weeks. But they do present a little bit of something that kind of pertains to our kryptonite, right? That run game. Obviously, we had some interesting reports coming out of the training camp. Jesus, practice, not training camp. I ain't trying to take us all the way back to that, guys. But yeah, let me get these shares out here real quick and whatnot. Just shooting them through. As always, by all means, share it. YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Twitter, get them out there. Facebook, the whole 9. Sorry about that. We had a little hiccup at the very beginning. That upsets me. But here we are. All right, Spoon. Let's get into it. We already got the lineup lined up. Right? We got some roster updates. Right? Obviously, we added, right? We added some beef up front.
Yes, we did.
We added some beef up front. London's in the building. Shout out to the big UK. Shout out to the UK in this thing. Who we added up front this week, man?
Breland Speaks from the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad.
Okay, formerly what? Ole Miss, right? Defensive tackle, Ole Miss.
Yeah, from Ole Miss.
Second round pick, right? Second round pick, even, right?
In the 18th draft. Right, pretty high pick. One pick in the 18th draft. A lot of solid things scouts said about him. One of the things they said that you hate to play against him. Not saying he's a Hall of Fame defensive tackle and things like that, but at the end of the day, there's a lot. They loved it, what they saw, and under the right team, under the right guidance, some scouts felt that this guy could be a Pro Bowler. At the end of the day, he's only 2 years in the league. There's a guy named Christian Jones over there with the Chiefs. Okay, that's the guy. That's the man right there. I know a lot of fans was like, "Well, who is this guy? He's not DeAndre Baker as a corner or whatever. He's a nobody." Don't be too fast. Don't judge like that. There was a nobody named David Irving that we got off the practice squad from the Chiefs, and he was on his way. Not saying he reached there, but he was on his way. And a lot of Cowboys fans, I know, as far as myself as well, felt that he could have kept on. If he would have kept on going the way he was going, right now, I think he'll be on this team.
Right. I mean, of course. And now, he got instead back. You're talking about David Irving, right? And right. And of course, I signed up with the Raiders. Went back with Coach Marinelli and whatnot. Now you got a guy. I mean, he had a knee injury, right? If you deep dive on him, little right knee injury. Some scouts say or whatnot. Or there's some reports that he didn't really come back very well from it. It's one of those. Hey, man, this guy can kind of do something, and it's one of those things that we talk about when you're moving from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and kind of some of the things that they're talking about. Of hey, this guy can be, your right defensive end per se in a 3-4 front. This isn't a thing that I'm looking for him to come here and do anything this year. This is something where they want to have him in-house, have a good look at him, and see can he give us some help up front moving forward as we transition this defense, who was a former, high draft pick coming out of Ole Miss. Again, I get it. DeAndre Baker, the former first-round pick, and I saw a lot of people. I've seen a lot of videos, some different things about it. Oh, the Cowboys should this, Cowboys should did that. Here they are. They didn't do the right thing. And I'm like, well, I mean, here's the thing. He wasn't on waivers. Let's be clear when it comes to DeAndre Baker. He wasn't on waivers, right? So he gets to choose where he wants to go. I mean, I don't know about choose for him. If I get to choose where I'm going to go.
You're not going over here.
Hey, come on, man. Yeah, I'm going to a team that has a chance to go win this thing.
And on top of that, BJ, you got to feel for the young man. The young man had a rough year, with going to court, proving his innocent, and thankfully, everything went all right on his end as far as the law. Where he wasn't found, he was found innocent, not guilty. Now he has to deal with the NFL, and I'm pretty sure the NFL is not going to suspend him, nothing like that. I'm pretty sure the team did their homework and research and see how he'll be handled. I'm not going to sit here and go to a team that's trying to be developed. I'm going all the way to the top. I'm going if the best team in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs, want me, and I have a shot to win a championship. Well, you know what? Damn it. Let me go make my documentary right now.
Right.
This man right here, you can make a movie out of DeAndre Baker for what he went through. Now you're going to the Chiefs, and if again, I don't know how much time he's gonna have on. Will he start eventually or whatever? He does have high potential. And at the end of the day, he picked the right team to go to. And as end of the day, if he was not on waivers, so the Cowboys could not control where he go. He controlled where he goes, and he did the right thing.
Yeah, and again, look, would you like the Cowboys to kind of kick the tires and see if you can get him in here? Apparently, there was some interest or whatnot, but again, it's not a waiver wire situation where, okay, well, Ted McKinley came available. We could have put in a claim for him, maybe possibly got him where we were picking at, in the waiver order. Baker had a chance to go do whatever he wants to do after sitting on a year of football. So, I mean, fall back on that. Let's kind of ease up on those kind of things because we didn't get him, but we did bring in a guy for the front. And, I've seen a couple little things that are happening here and there and tweets and whatever. And I'm like, hey, it takes two sides. I wish Mary was here. Mary's down. Little voice action. She's having some issues. Yeah. You know what I mean? And what Mary says always is, man, hey, look, it takes two people to sign a contract. Look, you can't force the guy to come sign. You can't force the guy to come here and play. Now, obviously, the one thing that kind of started a little not controversy, but a little unease. Randy Gregory was not at practice today. And of course, what happened with Randy Gregory was he was just sick. No big deal. Nothing to worry about. No injuries, nothing off the field, any of that spectrum. Just literally, he was sick. And of course, Zeke and Zach Martin started practice on the sidelines, working with trainers. Mm-hmm. We kind of know where that is. Obviously, we are getting Chidobe Wuzie back this week. Unfortunately, we lose Diggs probably for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the whole hum through the bye week as we're into this practice, into this week of getting into playing the Vikings. So, it definitely not good to see that Diggs is gone. I mean, we definitely wanted to see Diggs get some more play time and stuff and watch him continuously to grow through this thing. Great that we're getting Cheeto back. And good news on Gregory. A little sickness. He should be ready to go this weekend as well. Zach and Zeke also ready to go as well. So, I mean, overall, we're through. We're through. Nothing too big from the player standpoint. Nothing big happening in practice where somebody's going to miss or whatever. I mean, looks like we're going to be as full tilt as we can be. Also, Brandon Knight, also starting to work back with the trainers and get back into singing. Maybe we get a chance to see him replace Cam Irving, who is absolutely trash at left tackle for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah. Listen, end of the day, it's funny how we're praising names like Brandon Knight to come back. And, we have the other starters is still out until next season. But, this is what it is. And I don't know what type of team we're going to have going into Sunday. If this is going to be a team that really believes they can beat Minnesota, or this is going to be a team where they'll play solid and just see what happens towards the end. We don't know. They're off from the bye week. The comment that Zeke made, they asked Zeke a question about him not having a lot of 100-yard game. He goes, I could care less about numbers. He goes, I'm just mad that we're 2-7.
Right.
D-Law came out and said that, yes, what the Browns did to the Cowboys, over 300 yards rushing. He goes, well, listen, we respect Minnesota, but that's not going to happen. We have good guys on defense too. So I want to see about that because Dalvin Cook is having. I mean, he's the best back this year.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to get into as we preview these Vikings. I do think the one thing that he said was, man, we're a good team. No matter what it says outside the soccer room, he believes that they're a good team. So, yeah, I mean, we'll definitely dive into that as we get there. Now, during this bye week, we kind of know if the Cowboys, you don't have nothing to really talk about the Cowboys. You can't really get those clicks. You can't get those shares, whatever. So there was two particular reports that I saw, one from John Jock Taylor and another one from it was the Cowboys' other little off-brand site. I forgot the name of it. That kind of caught some heat or whatnot. And, both of these were, well, Zeke, the contract, you can move on. And then that was kind of, in the very earliest of during the bye week. And then it kind of turned into also Jalen Smith, right? Look at the contract. You get a net gain of $400,000. You can get up out of this contract, maybe kind of singling these contracts out as being bad contracts or whatever. And, and of course, everybody runs with that, right? I mean, when you get the national media or your big stays in the local media market, they want to come out here and talk about, two of the prevalent guys on offense and defense, the opportunity they might be moved on and whatnot. And here we are, 9 weeks into the NFL season. It's going to get some fodder, right? It's going to gain some traction. Some things are going to happen. And, what I implore Cowboys Nation is not fall for the bait. I mean, just don't fall for the bait. I mean, guys, the Cowboys don't play this week. They got to generate something. The Cowboys aren't winning. So what can they generate? They can generate these guys that possibly could not be here next year. And they know that we will just come in line and click that and go for it and read it. For me, I don't think there's any way, shape, or form that Zeke is going to be out of here. And I also don't believe there's any way, shape, or form that Jalen Smith's going to be out of here next year. Nope. I think it's
clickbait.
It shit's for clicks. Yeah. Put it on the board. I don't know where we are on the numbers. I got my salute, as we're in the salute the veterans, and we know what we're giving every cuss word this year going to a veteran suicide prevention at the end of the year. Put it up there. Shit's for clicks is where I'm at. And it pains me to see Cowboys Nation and fans really invest a lot of energy into, oh my God, oh man, they're going to move on from Jalen. Oh, Zeke. And look, and of course, Zeke's kind of been a little bit of a hot button because everybody wants to see Pollard. Pollard looks better in less carries and stuff like that.
Yeah, again, and listen, I tell you, you got to know the press's job. Okay, every morning when there's no news, you have the chief. Put it this way. If you're familiar with Spider-Man movies or the comic books, or or you're familiar with Superman with the media, you will understand what they do, especially Spider-Man, right? What Jonah Jameson will do all the time, BJ, he would make things up and make Spider-Man look like the bad guy all the time when he's the hero. This is what the media do all the time. They either can make you look good or make you look really bad. And the thing is that as fans, you have to, without a doubt, you have to just read it and just think for a second. Don't just jump at it and this is what it is. No, it's Listen, you mean to tell me if you see an article that says the Cowboys informed Jalen Smith that if he does not perform in these 7 games, he has to take a pay cut? So you mean to tell me the Cowboys actually came out and said that, and then told the news reporters that they did that? Seriously, let's be honest. They won't even tell us if they're gonna sign a player, but they're gonna tell us that we told this player if he doesn't perform, he will be cut. Come on now. Yeah. Come on now. Meanwhile, this video out there of Des Bryant telling the media in the locker room, you guys lied. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to say what you said. And they had to separate that. End of the day, that's the media's job. The media's job is to make everybody jump, not just stay settled. They wanted to jump. It's like I said before. If BJ saves a cat from a tree, they're not going to put that out there. Now, they'll put out there, what they're going to put out there is that BJ saved the cat from the tree and then threw the cat very angry because he had to go up there. See, that's their job. Their job is to make it like that. And because Jalen Smith has not been playing too good, well, again, he's the target because he got paid.
Right. And and the funny thing about that was when he signed the deal last year, everybody lost their mind. Oh, they got Jalen so cheap. Oh my God, we can't believe it. Jalen kind of messed himself up. He could have got more money, so on and so forth. So now the media's kind of spin it into well, they're going to move on from me. And I can tell most people, man, just follow what's going on the field. If there's an idea in the house, they're thinking about moving on from Jalen Smith, then there's going to be more Luke Giffords. There's going to be more Francis Bernards. They're going to play these guys more and see what they have than just to sit here and just keep doing the same thing. And then at the end of the year, okay, well, we don't know what we have on the cupboard, but Jalen, you got to go. Again, during bye week, there's always a little lull. These media, they're trying to get these clicks. They're trying to get this ad revenue. They're make sure they're doing what they're doing. And the two that just stuck out to me overall were the Cowboys could, wink, wink, move on from Zeke and Jalen and things. And look, and obviously I've been on this show. I've definitely criticized Jalen's play a lot on this show and whatnot. But the idea to think that the Cowboys will move on from Jalen at the end of the year, I think it's preposterous. And again, it's bye week fodder. And that's what's going on. Don't read too much into it. Don't put too much time into it. When they talk about these things during the bye week is what I'm saying. Chop's in the middle. What's going on, Chop?
And on top of to add on to that, BJ, Jerry Jones just last week just said in his interview, Jalen Smith is the cornerstone of this team. On top of that, he took a nice little pay cut to get paid. I mean, I don't see anything. I don't see any reason of cutting Jalen Smith will do for the Cowboys, if anything. I will say, if you watch on the field, he's playing out of position. For the games that LVE was out. Listen, every day, like I said, a whole new fresh start with a whole new, depending on what they do with the defensive coordinator next season, he'll be fine. This is a bad year just for the team overall. It's a bad season. One bad year. It is what it is.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, now Jerry's is also a certain guy's that's kind of touting Dorrance Armstrong and his play, but I'm not going to really dive into that too much. But
right.
He took cutting the cornerstone piece, whatever. He moves jerseys, the whole nine. And these guys are a little bit more tight-lipped about what they want to do now. The guy got burnt in some trades last year, some different things, so they are a little bit more tight-lipped. But again, to me, a bunch of much ado about nothing in this bye week. Hey, how can we get Cowboys Nation and fans riled up? Well, let's talk about Zeke and Jalen being gone and being released at the end of the season. Like, it's foolishness.
Hey, BJ, here's the thing, Cowboys Nation. You want to get riled up? You want to get excited about something? Here's how you do it. We got 7 games left.
There you go.
7 games left. You know what that means? After 7 games are over, okay, yeah, we out. We're not in the playoffs. We're going home. Once we know our draft pick, once January hits, you know what time is it? You know what time? After the playoff is over, it is time. It is time to get some new faces. And here's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys, I'm pretty sure, will have a top 5 pick And if they do have a top 5 pick, that's when you should be getting excited for. A lot of things may happen during the offseason. A lot more you guys may come in. This is where now, when you're a team that has to get better, you should see more action out of that team.
All right.
When the Cowboys drafted Zeke and drafted Dak in 2016, and during that offseason, it was busy. It was a busy offseason. It was a fun offseason, especially because we had the top 5 pick and there was guys that we like. It's going to happen again. We don't know what's going to happen. Right. Listen, we don't know.
I mean, and we have a plethora of picks in the top 4 rounds, right? So, I mean, not only do we have guys coming back, via injury to help this team in 2021, we're going to have a lot of new faces, like you said, via the draft. And depending on how they move that, and if they move back and different things that we'll kind of get into. But as far as this bye week fodder with 7 games left to go and seeing this thing play it out, to sit here and start cherry picking and throwing darts, Zeke and Jalen Smith going to be out of here, man, it's for clicks, man. I mean, that's just where it is. But let's pivot off of that one real quick. So, Mr. Andy Dalton, which we already know is been, the Joneses have came out and they've said, hey, Andy's our guy. We're moving with him. And, the head coach, I'm not saying he's being lukewarm in that realm. Just, hey, we're going to get through practice to see, give you a little bit of a coach speak, if you will. So I said, we kind of saw, look, we saw the Nucci we saw the double G, Garrett Gilbert, and what he was able to do. I said, well, let me kind of go back and just kind of look, at what Dalton did, outside of the 0 for 2, 52 at 85, 61.2%, right? 452 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. So, I mean, it's just kind of where he's at. I mean, his yards per average was 5.3, kind of yells at you, or yards per attempt, 5.3, a little bit of a captain check down, if you will. Yards per game kind of balanced out to 113. Now, we know he kind of got beat up and left the game early in the Washington game, right? So he's coming back in, right? And with him coming back in, the idea is that, hey, look, the most Cowboys thing in 2020 that possibly could happen this year, right, is that, well, we gained, we kind of like moved up the ladder because of draft picks or whatnot, and then we also kind of gained traction in winning the division as well, right? Yeah. So, I mean, obviously with him playing, we look at the schedules. We have a favorable schedule. We're right in here. I mean, guys, I joked a few weeks ago. I said, well, 6 wins might win this division. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, 6 wins might actually win this division. But with that being said, after seeing what Gilbert did for a game, it's 1 game. If Dalton comes in and it's kind of the same Dalton that we had seen before he left, do you think McCarthy has a short leash on him and is going to go back to Gilbert, or is he going to let Dalton play this thing out?
That's a good question. Okay, so both these quarterbacks only had 1 game apiece. Andy had with the Redskins, he got hurt out the game, and then Garrett Gilbert the following week with the Pittsburgh, he started, and I mean he was impressive. I would if I want to keep winning, I would want to see Gilbert because for what I saw at the Steelers game. But Andy Dalton, he had a really fair. I mean, he had a start. He just got hurt. They didn't finish. And I would think, you know what? Yes, a short leash.
I mean, Dalton did start the Cardinals game where we got beat, right?
Sorry, you're right about it. Yes.
Yeah, and he was like 34 54 for 266, a touchdown and 2 picks. So he had a game against the Cardinals, and he had the game against Washington. He got hurt. What was it, like the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, somewhere around there?
So with that being said, yes, Dalton should have a short. He should have a short leash, and McCarthy should pull him. Now, here's the thing: if McCarthy wants to win games and on a positive note and win some games there, then you will want to go with Garrett Gilbert as your guy. Just because you saw how again, the way he was going with the game, how he was getting everybody lined up, how he controlled the huddle, the plays, you saw actually life out of that offense, and it made the defense even just play even better and better as time went on. Now you go with Andy, it's like another reset all over again. He has to not get in control of the offense and stuff like that. Now, of course, this bye week, I know he had time with the with the team and everything. I don't know if they split any reps between Garrett and Andy with the first team. They didn't say any of that, but I'm pretty sure Andy will be on a short leash.
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of the things I'm looking going into this game, depending on how Andy plays early, it will definitely for me take a look at how McCarthy, handles that.
Right.
So again, as I said before, for me, Andy Dalton was always the, hey, if Dak gets hurt for 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 5, come in this thing, hold it together, right? Till he gets back. We know that Dalton's not going to be here next year. And for me, as I look at this thing, I'm like, man, I'd rather see Garrett Gilbert play, whether it gives us the best chance or not, no matter what anybody thinks. As you talked about the livelihood of the offense and different things, but also what I like to see is, can he, hold this thing down and actually be a legitimate backup for us as we sign Dak back? Yes, I did say sign Dak back and be that backup for us, moving forward. So I'll be very intrigued if Dalton is up to what Dalton was doing the first 2 games that he played. Will there be maybe a change at half or whatever in what they're trying to do? I mean, for me, I get it from Stephen Jones' standpoint and coming out and talking about that on the radio and saying, hey, we're going with Dalton. Now, on paper and theoretically, Dalton gives you the best chance to win, right? He's the proven veteran. He's taking the Bengals to 5 straight playoffs. This is why you brought him here. The defense is playing much better now since Dalton was out till right now, right? So I'm intrigued to see it. Very one of the early on, aspects of this offense. If it's, if the offense is very flat and not as upbeat as we saw as it pertains to how it was playing against the Steelers with Gilbert, definitely something to keep an eye on. To me, I think it's a short leash. I think it's a short leash.
Hey, BJ, I love this comment by Rush Turner.
Okay.
I love that comment.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's a good wow.
Well, we're not. Look, be clear. We're not going to. There's no way we're getting ahead of the Jets. The Jets are going to go 0-16. The Jets are going to go 0-16. We're not. That's not going to happen. We're not going to do the number.
Oh wow! But that's dope right there. I like that. I like that.
And as Jody Perry said, man, it seems to be no chemistry with Dalton behind center. Again, we got to see very early in the game. I do agree with that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Rush, I mean, I hear you. As Rush, old school Rush says, just saying, I understand it, but there's no way we're going to not win another game and somehow the Jets find a way to win 3 games. It's not going to happen.
Remember, they get betrayed. A trade can happen.
Well, that ain't what he said, though. What he said was the last time the Dodgers won, the Cowboys had the number 1 pick. So that's completely different. Okay. With that being said, man, let me go ahead and get my shameless plugs out here. Obviously, if you're watching via the Star Game page or group, or you're watching from the Star Game podcast on YouTube, we appreciate you. Like, follow, subscribe to all those different things. Jump in the group, and we'll get you added. If you have not yet for the Star Game podcast YouTube channel, please, I implore you, go over there. Man, hit that like, hit that sub, and hit that notification bell anytime we go on. We went on earlier this week with my 5-point plan to finish the Cowboys. Go and check it out. It's sitting there in the playlist. And how to fix these Cowboys. Had a good time. Our guy Jay Tuck came in from Cowboys Fans Only, and our boys did, right? Also, for the rest of this show, as we're about to get into the preview of these Vikings, phone lines are open this week, guys. Y'all got any comments? Anything you want to say? You have your chance, ask one of us. Put it to the nation. Go ahead, give that call. We'll definitely answer the phone and get your comment on, and go ahead and answer any questions you might happen to have. No ifs, ands, or buts. No filler. So by all means, the phone is ready. Just go ahead and give it a call as well. Now, we've gotten through all the fluff. Vikings. Skull. They've won 3 straight, Spoon.
Yes,
they won 3 straight. They beat the Packers in Green Bay. They beat the Detroit Lions, and of course they beat the Bears on Monday night. So I mean, us coming off a bye week, right? All divisional games. Them coming off of a bye week, or us coming off a bye week, I should say. They are on a short week. They play Monday night, so we catch them on a short week with us having a little bit of a rest, right? They got that kryptonite for us, though, Spoon. Look, you were alluding to that a little bit earlier. Now, remember, we're on the road. We're going to Minnesota. Now, you did say, and rewind that for the people that might just got here and whatnot. What did one DeMarcus Lawrence talk about again? What did he say? What was that quote?
Yeah, D-Law said that we know what the Browns did to us the last time. But he respects Minnesota, but guess what? It's not going to happen again. We have good guys on his defense.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah. Again, that kryptonite. Now, look, the past 2 weeks, guys,
right?
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This team has played very well, even against the run. The best they've played against the run, even. Big test on deck. Now, granted, against the Bears, the Bears is a hell of a team, though. Now, right? I think Cook ended up with 30 carries for about 96 yards. And of course, and as we look at them, that defense for the Vikings isn't quite the same as it once was. So there's things to be had there, but they are hot right now. And if you can make them one-dimensional, with Kirk Cousins, maybe you got a chance to do something. But boy, they got a rookie over there, wide receiver, to replace Diggs, though, Sloan. They got a rookie over there doing some things.
Jefferson from LSU. Listen, he's doing work. I would have loved to see Trayvon Diggs against him this game, but fortunately he's not here. Maybe another time. Listen, Cheeto's back. We got Anthony Brown. We got two veteran guys there in the secondary. It's like we're going back to the 2018 rookie cornerback class with Cheeto playing, Lewis and Anthony Brown. Well, Anthony Brown was got to be before those two, but you know what I'm saying. So I trust those corners to hold down Jefferson. He's a rookie. I really, really do trust him. As far as Adam Thielen, that's a vet right there. We played him before. He has great success against us, so that's going to be an issue. But there's no Diggs on this team.
Right.
None of my Diggs. So can we hold them? Yes. But like I said, the running game for Minnesota, that's going to be the key that opens up everything up. If it's not Cook, they got the backup Madison. Madison has been very solid every time coming in for Cook. So again, we got to be on an A game if we want to win this game. Our offense versus their defense, that's gonna be something. That's gonna be something. Again, it all depends how comfortable Andy Dalton gets with this offense. If they get some good rhythm early during the game, that's when we're gonna pretty much know how it's gonna go. But I like our defense versus their offense. I really do.
Yeah, and I'm with Chop on this one, man. Loving the light the defense has been showing the past 2 weeks.
Right.
That Diggs, though. Oh, man, I hate not having Diggs. I mean, we're getting Cheeto back, but, man, we're not getting the full plate, if you will, on that front. As Mendoza, I was posting up here was talking about Cook what wasn't the reason last year, and Rudolph and Irv could be killers. Here's my thing. I don't think it's been talked about enough. I think in the system, one thing about Kirk Cousins is I think Kirk Cousins is regressing in that system. Look, I'm saying he was ever a top 10 quarterback and thinks he could do it or whatnot, but if he's a guy that's thrown consistently for 4,000, he was a guy that you could let him kind of slang it a little bit instead of just saying, no, we're just going to not. I mean, there's times where he doesn't throw the ball 20 times a game. We've seen it. So I think, Kirk Cousins in that system has regressed for sure. Thielen obviously is solid. Diggs isn't there, but the rookie Jefferson's there. You got to be worried about that. That offensive line also for the Vikings isn't the same anymore either, and maybe that's kind of part of from the pass protection standpoint, I should say. I mean, there's some things to be happening there. So it's a different look than these teams that played last year for sure. I just going forward as it pertains to yes, you do. Congratulations, Shop. I saw that picture earlier. Congratulations. Man, God bless you. And yes, sir, absolutely. Have a good night. Looking for my T-Nana update on Friday. I always tune into those. But, as it pertains to these two teams and what's going on, I definitely do think it's a little bit different. And for the Cowboys going forward, period, I think it has to be stop the run first, no matter who we're playing. Mm-hmm. It has to be stop the run first and see if you can survive the passing game. And I think it's more prevalent with a team that has a guy that's been hot and been doing the things that he's been doing.
I'm going to say this. Okay. Minnesota got 2 rookie corners back there, Dantzler and Gladney. I remember Dantzler, he was ranked by in the 4th or 5th round. Gladney, I believe, was 2nd or 3rd round. Okay. We got Cooper, you got Gallup, and you got CD Lamb. That should be a fantasy football's best night if you have Andy Dalton with those receivers. If you have, again, it all depends on the rhythm. Mm-hmm. You got 2 rookie. I know if Dak was here, OMG. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Got 2 rookie corners back there. All right, Minnesota, I don't believe has faced corner like good, very good, solid 3 wide receivers like we have right now. Yes, Green Bay, you have your Adams, you have your Galladays with Detroit, Chicago Bears. You have your Robinson, but we got Amari Cooper, Gallup, and C-Land.
Right.
So it's not one.
Three-headed monster. You got to block it up. Yeah, but you got to block it up. You got to block it up.
Hey, listen. Hey, BJ, are you a fan of any Godzilla movies? I am. Mm-hmm. I love Godzilla and King Kong. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who was Godzilla's worst nightmare? Remember Ghidra, the 3-headed monster? Okay, here's the thing. Minnesota Vikings may have faced a Godzilla or King Kong, maybe a Mothra. We're talking about the 3-headed monster and Ghidra, who's been a problem. A problem.
Yeah.
If things go well, if Andy Dalton has great rhythm with the offensive line, with the running game, the receivers, everybody is getting on point with one another. This could be the game. This could be something where the Dallas Cowboys, you know what? We can still win this division. We can still make the playoffs.
Right. And that's and that's unequivocally, and you're right, and that's unequivocally the reason Dalton's back and what they're feeling in the building right now is they look at the schedule, look how it's lined up, they can get into the playoffs, and once you're in the playoffs, see what happens. Yeah. If this defense can continue, for me, it's just disheartening because Diggs is gone, as well as this defense has played the past couple of weeks. Because you look how well it's played, you're like, okay, well, Diggs is here. Now we're getting Cheeto back. We got that tandem, and that's kind of the biggest thing to it is, we're not going to have that tandem, with this, momentum, if you will, that we've had going on defense, But I mean, again, if the defense can, even with Cheeto coming back with Diggs out, if they find a way to make this thing work, absolutely. I mean, there's things that can be had there. Now, we did get a question a little bit earlier from Lane. He kind of checked in a little bit different. Boom. Do you think Zeke has fallen off and they should move on? Sloan?
Nah, not at all. He's still top 10 in rushing. End of the day, this is what I would say. Zeke, out of all the running backs in the NFL, Zeke has been the most consistent running back since being drafted. Never missed a game, aside from his core situation, his personal situation. But he's never missed a game. He's always played at top. He's ranked number 8 in rushing. We got Derrick Henry his last 2 years. We got Cook last year and this year. Okay, Zeke has been consistent ever since being drafted number 5 overall. My thing is when you don't have a Dak Prescott and when you don't have your offensive line starters. I mean, they have only got one starter. It's hard because at the end of the day, it's more than just taking the ball off a handoff. It's a lot of rhythm communication, how everybody moves. If everybody doesn't move at the same time the right way, it's all jammed, it's all messed up. And that's the thing that everybody's not looking at. They're just looking at numbers or okay, he got caught in the backfield. We're not doing that good with the run block at all. At all. Now, even Pollard in the game, yes, Pollard look, a little bit better as far as hitting the hole. He's more elusive than Zeke. But he can't carry the rock like Zeke can't throughout the whole game. He can't.
Yeah. So, I mean, the tape says, things that I'll talk about with Zeke with a clear running path. He's not pressing the hole enough to get through it. But on the same token, there's a number of plays of where as soon as the ball hits his hands, there's guys hitting him or there's traffic in front of him before you even get to the play side. So, I know Zeke is Zeke. He's still a stud. For me, I always said he was kind of a generational running back. Maybe he's not generational, but he's definitely a stud. Yeah, he's definitely a stud in this league. So, no, I wouldn't move on from Zeke at this point by any stretch of the imagination. We got to clean some things up, period, offensively. But no, I think Zeke is still kind of doing this thing, and he is good to go. A good point here from Mendoza as we're covering the Minnesota Vikings preview. Dalton is very familiar with the Zimmer defense, right? Because obviously Zimmer was the defense coordinator for numerous years while Dalton was with Cincinnati as well. So should be interesting. I got Jody Parrish says, I agree, but I said chemistry on the old line has to give him more time. Dalton isn't Decker Double G. Well, I do agree with that. Dalton has to stand tall in the pocket. Even with Double G had some things around him that wasn't clean. Man, he stood a little bit taller in the pocket and climbed the pocket a little bit more. And we got to see the same thing from Dalton. But I agree with you. O-line's definitely got to do their part. I mean, it's 11 on 11. Got to make it do what it do. My guy Jonathan's here says, even if the offense can move the ball a little bit, can we trust him to finish? What about that defense that allows 5 yards a carry, about to face one of the hottest running backs, and da-da-da-da-da. And that's what we kind of talked about. I mean, the defense is hot right now. Let's be clear, right? The defense has been very good the past 2 to 3 weeks. And this is a big test for them. That's kind of what we led off the show with, and what we kind of talked about throughout the show, John, is that they have, it's a big test. We're going to see, is this thing, since we got rid of the dead weight and have they been playing, is this going to carry you over stopping Cook? Or is Cook going to kill us? Again, the big prevalent thing for us with the defense here, no matter what we think about what they did to us last year, and we know about the rookie wide receiver, right? And we know about Thielen, we know about the tight ends. Doesn't matter. Make them one-dimensional. Yeah. Can you stop Cook? If you can stop Dalvin Cook, then see what you got. And that's going to be the big test. Like, nobody's running away from that. It's a big test for this defensive front.
Yeah. Again, they want to win game. This is the game. This is a good game to start over. This team is hot. They won 3 games in a row. At the end of the day, they are beatable. They are beatable. Here's the thing. They played the Bears last week. And not to go away to the Bears game, but the Bears, they're struggling with what? Quarterback situation, right? Do they have the same weapons that we have? No, they don't. They really don't. I don't really think any team that the Vikings have faced this year. Again, 3-headed monster. That's a lot more to cover. So my thing is this: if Andy Dalton is able to get the good reads and connect with his receivers, that will even make it much more easier for Zeke to run that rock, because now you won't have so much men up front. You won't see that in the box. You won't see that as much. That's the thing. So Andy has to really challenge those, again, two rookie corners, Gladney and Dantzler.
Yeah, and look, I mean, and to drive the point home about Kirk Cousins. Cousins against Green Bay went 11-14 for 160 and a touchdown. By the way, one of those passes was about a 50-yard screen pass to Dalvin Cook.
Exactly.
Right. So I mean, you take that away, boy. I mean, pretty paltry numbers, right? All right, so they win that game 28-22 in Green Bay. Then they play the Lions at home, right? They play the Lions at home. Here, Kirk Cousins 13-20 for 220 and 3 touchdowns, right? Dalvin Cook also had 46 yards receiving in that game, right. So again, not really all about Mr. Cousins. And then of course we go to the Monday night game this week, 19-13. Right now, Dalvin Cook, tough sledding against the Bears defense, right? 30 carries for 96 yards. But Kirk Cousins, 25 of 36 for 292 and 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, big game for the 8 for 135. But Dalvin Cook still four catches for 16 yards. Right. So again, this thing for sure for Minnesota is built not around Kirk Cousins anymore. Is where it's at, and that's what it really boils down to at the end of the day. Of this team going forward cannot allow Dalvin Cook. That is the key to beat us. We have to stop Dalvin Cook. Now look, if Kirk Cousins comes out and beats us, hey man, tip the cap, move on. They've won 3 straight. They're hot. Kirk Cousins hasn't really had to go out and beat anybody yet. Fair enough. if you stop Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins beat you over the top, you'll have to live with that and move forward. But at the end of the day, the big strength for us going into this game is one big test for this run defense, who has been suspect at best at times in this league. That is been pretty hot so far, and you got to stop Cook. I mean, that's just what it is.
Listen, yeah, I could agree anymore. Listen, I mean, of course, the Vikings got they got Kyle Rudolph. They back up the tight end. I don't know if Irv Smith, that's the other tight end they have. I don't know if he's playing this week. He didn't play last week at all. End of the day, like you said, BJ, it's built around Cook. If you can stop Cook, you can stop the whole team.
All right. Well, you know what that means, Spoon. You know what that means. It's prediction time, baby.
Yes.
Prediction time. So, Cowboys are traveling to Minnesota. The winners of 3 straight. Dalvin Cook pretty scorching hot for the most part.
Right.
Cowboys had a very feel-good loss against maybe the best team in the league, the only undefeated team in the league, and the Steelers, who are now 9-0. Andy Dalton's coming back. How do you feel? Where you got us at?
I got us winning this football game.
Mm-hmm.
I got us winning 21-17 Dallas Cowboys.
21-17. 21-17. Well, Spoon, I like the fact that the dead weight's out of here, and it's been a very feel-good story with this defense. The past couple of weeks, man, I gotta see it to believe it, and something tells me I think Dalvin Cook's gonna kind of have his way a little bit. I'm not a believer in Andy Dalton. I thought, he could be a guy if we had to use him for a little bit. Never thought he could take us all the way, but I thought he could, bridge the gap until Dak came back if we ever had that kind of style of injury. But I go back and the thing I did before this show is I went back and just look at Andy Dalton, period. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not. I mean, I do think this defense is playing a lot better. Now Diggs is out. We'll see how that affects it, but we get Cheeto back. I think there's things they can take advantage of and whatnot. Not that I don't think I don't think it's going to be a situation where Andy Dalton won't score. I think he'll get a little bit more looser with the arm and not be kept in check down because I'm not really overly concerned about their pass rush. But their linebackers are very good in Minnesota. That is the one thing. And they do have a couple of safeties on the back end that is pretty good as well. And Harris and Harrison Smith, okay? We can talk about these rookie cornerbacks if we want to, but those safeties are pretty damn solid. Period, point blank. So yeah, man, I think the Vikings are going to win this one. I think the Cowboys will be competitive. I think this is going to be a telltale story for the Cowboys going forward. I think the Cowboys will be competitive. I think they're going to put up a good fight. I think we've seen that now since they got the weight up out of here. I'm going to go Vikings 24, Cowboys 20. 24-20 Vikings is where I think I'm at with this game. Man, maybe a chance to move up the old list. We're picking number 4 right now. Maybe a chance to move up.
Hey, listen, and here's the thing. If, again, Cowboy Nation, we got 7 games left. Don't stress out. If you win the division, you can celebrate. Get the hat. I know I'm gonna get my. I don't care. We're 4-12, and we win the division. I'm gonna get me an NFC East championship hat. I don't care what it is. But if we lose, guess what? We got something to look forward to. That's a top 5 draft pick and some good changes, positive changes in next offseason. So, in my opinion, it's a win-win situation. The same way how right now we're 1 game out of first place, we're also still in a top 3 draft pick right now. So,
we're picking 4th.
You picking 4th?
Yeah, 4th right now.
All right. So, hey, it is what it is.
I agree with what's coming here, though. Much for the CWG. I'm with you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I definitely much with you. We got a little extra time here. So any questions y'all have, YouTube, Facebook, go ahead and shoot them in the comment section. If you want to call in, get it off your chest, phone line is open. By all means, down on 339-1015. give a call in. We'll get you on. We'll answer any questions or let you ride and give your comments to Cowboys Nation on the same token. As always, if you haven't yet, man, we're trying to build the YouTube channel up big time. Start Game Podcast is the name of said channel. Go over there, hit that sub button, hit that notification button. If you're on Twitter, follow me at your_guy_Nix, as it says right underneath my name. Give me that follow. Spoonie is Spoonie881. Man, come check us out on Twitter. I'm trying to get Spoonie a little bit more active on Twitter. We got them fleets now on Twitter, Spoon. You know, you do little stories and stuff. They're called fleets now. They got fleets. So we can't get it. Man, we can't get an edit button on Twitter, but we got fleets where we can do little stories now. I'm like, so we're basically Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all the same but different. But they're the same, but yet they're different. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, pretty soon this is all just going to be one too many things. One major thing. You know, Rush Hunters got us at 24-17. Vikings are going to win. Our guy, Matthew Guy, Vikings too strong for Dalton, 28-17. I saw the beard, though, man. Beard gang in the building. I just looked down there and saw it a little bit. Please prove me wrong, boy. Hey, but I mean, do we want to? I mean, yeah. It's a whether we win or lose. It's a win-win either way. It's a win-win. It's a win-win either way. If we win, fantastic. Yeah, if we win, fantastic. If we lose, well, hey, we're moving up the board. It's a win-win. For me, and this is what I said whenever Dak went out in the very following week, man. You know, and so well, maybe Dalton can do it. And we saw what happened with Dalton against the Cardinals. And I said, man, look, man, enjoy the little things the rest of the season. You know, and one of my little things got taken away whenever Diggs got hurt. Man, I'm looking for little things. I want to see the Luke Giffords, right? I want to see Neville Gallimore play some more, right? I want to keep seeing Randy Gregory come on through and walk through that door. Let me see how CeeDee Lamb grows. Let me see Luke Gifford and Francis Bernard. Can we get Bradley Anae in this thing? Please and thank you. I need Bradley Anae to come on through and get some burns, you know. I want to see Reggie Robinson to come through and start getting some play time. You know, I want these young guys let's see what these building blocks are that we have that are going to move. Look, man, get Connor McGovern out there some more. I don't care. I want to see what kind of building blocks that we have that are going to move through this season that are going to help us as we build forward with these, you know, plethora of picks in the first 4 rounds of next year on top of, you know, whatever else we might have to add or not.
Right. At the end of the day, like I said, this is evaluation time. The same way the coaches are doing it with their plays. I feel, oh, wow. Here's the thing. When Mendoza's saying that, 3 out of the 5 is possible because end of the day, we still face the NFC East, 3 games, the Eagles, Giants, and Redskins. We got the 49ers. We got the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore is the only team above 500 that we're facing. So it's possible. I already put a stamp. Thanksgiving, Cowboys are beating the Redskins.
Well, I already put the football team, sir.
Oh, excuse me. That football team. Excuse me.
The football team.
The football team.
Yeah, make sure we definitely get that right. I mean, and look, and of course, I mean, as we talked about before, as it pertains to, you know, like the Eagles schedule and who they got to play. I mean, it's pretty ugly. You know, if the Giants would have beat the Eagles the first time when they should have, maybe this division is a wrap. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. I mean, we got the Vikings, the football team from Washington, Ravens, Bengals, Niners, who are beat to hell and back, Eagles, Giants. So, yeah, man, 6 wins might do it, man. 6-10 might win this division.
Listen, if we could win 7 straight and win the division and be 8-8, that's a better number. It's a better number.
Well, we win 7 straight. No. If we win 7 straight, we'll be 9-7.
Oh, excuse me, 9-7. There you go.
We'll be 9-7. We'll be 9-7. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to be 6-10 with the top 10 pick, win the division, and be picking at 20. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, gut punch. But with that being said, any questions, comments? The phone lines are still open. But while we do that, while we're waiting for any of those things in the comment section or calls, Spoony.
Yes, sir.
I guess it's about your time, everybody. If you hung around this long, this is the treat that you get at the end. The one and only Spoonie's Minute.
Well, Cowboy Nation, I didn't cuss all day today. I really didn't. I'm very proud of myself this week.
It was a bye week. It was a bye week. We were tuned down.
It was a bye week. Yes, that is true. And Miss Mary's not here today too. So I'm going to say this, y'all. End of the day, what you see is what you see, but it's a little bit more than that. It's always good to research behind what you see, okay? And right here in Star Gang, we tell it all like every other show, Cowboy show does. End of the day, we here to tell the truth. We don't lie over here, like ESPN. Stop listening to what everybody says. Stop. Don't do it. It's nothing but false information. No good. See, that's the bullshit that we have to go through all the time. We don't want no bullshit like that. Okay? End of the day, embrace what you have during the season. When I'm by that, embrace the change that we need. Embrace it. This 2020 Dallas Cowboys is going to be a whole new different team in 21. Whether Dak's here or he's not, which he should be here. End of the day, this is evaluation time. Don't expect it to get Earl Thomas or nothing like that. It's all about evaluating the players we have so that way they know what direction they're going to go to next year. From here on out, embrace it. Just say, you know what? We win, hey, we win a game. If we lose, hey, like BJ just said, we climbing up that ladder, and that's what we want. Because at the end of the day, I expect everybody, Cowboys brothers and sisters, if you're on this board right here, I expect you to try to bring your asses out there to Cleveland, Ohio, and rep it up with me and BJ at the NFL draft. Because guess what? We made like shit this year. Oh, we're gonna look like fucking gold when they call our names out in that top 5 pick. I guarantee you that. Every year that I've been to the NFL draft, the one thing Cowboy Nation do is rep it up. I'm gonna give you a little story. I went to the Philadelphia Eagles NFL draft. Okay, when they hosted the draft in Philadelphia, right? Now, when they called the Cowboys up for the Cheeto pick in the second round, I mean, we took over the whole fucking Ben Franklin Parkway in that front. When Drew Pearson was up there saying the stuff that he was saying while we was down there watching, cheering, cussing, repping it up. Do you know the NFL shop had to close down because there was too many Cowboy fans in there buying stuff? Everything was sold out. But meanwhile, you had an abundance of other NFL jersey hats, but the Cowboys sold out. That tells you who the fuck we are. We are America's team. Don't lose that shit. Don't listen to Stephen A. Smith when he's saying we're not America's team. He don't know fucking football. He don't know football. He was kicked out on Sunday Night Countdown during an assessment because he tried to troll the Cowboys. They're like, oh, wait a minute. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't sit there and listen to Donald Vorsky. What the hell he got to say? He already said they script. Understand this. Be careful who you watch and you listen to, who you get information from.
Right.
But I expect all of us to try their best to go out there to Cleveland at the NFL draft and rep that shit up. Because when we rep it up, the cameras will be on us, and we're going to tell the world who the fuck we are, America's team. Yes, we'll be back. Laugh it out now. Enjoy the shit right now. Enjoy all the fucking jokes.
Okay.
We're going to come back next shit, and we're going to have the last laugh. I guarantee you that.
Well, so I mean, when you're 2-7, that's what we got to talk about, that draft. So I ain't mad at you. That's what we got to do. And look, and what a perfect time to be, up that board and see what we can do. We feel like there's a lot of pieces here that were hurt that we can kind of get back, and some things that can happen. Absolutely. It's definitely all about evaluating we're still under 200, thank God. But with that being said, some things to play for, some things to watch. So we hope these young players are going to get out here and get some more time. The guys that we haven't had a chance to see yet. It's crazy for us to talk about that. And I mean, I don't know. It just what 2020 wouldn't be for us to be at 2-7 and still be literally all the way in this thing with 3 games against our divisional foes, with a chance to go win and go to the playoffs and then lose in the first round. It is what it is. Man, shout out to Mariella, who was a little under the weather. Our third co-host, she was under the weather tonight. We tried to go and we were listening. She was last night and she's like, I can't do it. We did tonight, boy. We should play she sends a voice clip today.
Oh yes, man.
This is what I sound like. It was bad. All right, fair enough. Don't worry about it. So we tried to put up as long as we can, but we wanted to check in, right? Even off the bye week, we wanted to check in, give y'all this Vikings preview. Stand improved. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier for whatever reason. I paid for this B Live for us to be on here. Maybe I should stop paying for it. I don't know. They cut us off ASAP. But with that being said, though, again, Stargate Podcast YouTube channel. Sub, hit the notification button. Always, after the Vikings game, me and Sweeney will be here with the post-game report. And then, of course, every Tuesday, typically, when everybody's healthy and on the roster, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, we're here going to stand and deliver. Enjoy the ride the rest of the way, y'all, man. Enjoy the ride the rest of the way. Andy Dalton, I don't have a lot of high hopes, guys. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, I got the Vikings winning. I hope if anything else, Andy, don't be a coward. Don't be a check down king against the Vikings in the second half games in Minnesota next week. You had time to be out or whatever. Look at your film. Don't be a check down king. You've been a check down king so far. I didn't think it was going to be you here, but here you are. Don't do it. If not, I want to see double G. That's what I'm leaving on. Spoon, what you got for the people on the way out?
No, listen, just be safe out there. For those of you at the PS5, Xbox Series, enjoy them.
I do. I'm in the streets of Valhalla right now. That Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I could imagine. Listen, just be what's going on with the numbers going up and stuff like that. Just be with the pandemic. Just be safe and sound with your families. God bless everyone. Ain't little thing. You always help me in the side chat, Mary as well. Have a good night. God bless.
That part. We'll catch you on the post game.